Good morning, otherworldlies. This is Juliana Angel, your Dark Mass Diva. How's everyone doing today? Well, as you know, I did that other video about the fat activists. Yes, they are not our only enemies, plus size ladies, okay? We have other enemies. Yes, well, we've got a lot of enemies, okay? Foods that aren't good for us. All right, those are our enemies. Okay, belief that we can't lose weight. Those are our enemies. Okay, laziness, our enemies. Misinformation about losing weight, enemy. All right, just not having healthy food around, enemy. Lack of motivation, enemy. Excuses, enemy. All right, we've got a lot of enemies when it comes to us not getting a hold of our fitness. All right, age that's playing a huge part with me getting this weight off. A lot of it is my age. It's getting harder and harder as I'm getting older to get the rest of this weight off. It's harder, right? Okay, so it's coming off slowly now that I'm getting older, but that doesn't mean I'm not taking it off. But I'm going to talk about something that is very serious, and that is feeders. All right. Now, some of these guys are just they come straight out with it. They come out and they find a chick who's down with it, who wants to, go in with a feeder fetish, who wants to be fed by a dude and, get as big as she wants to get and is consenting to it. All right. So if they want to do that, that's on them. I'm talking about guys who are doing that to you kind of without you really consenting to it, that you don't want to gain the weight, but they're slowly putting the weight on you without you really realizing that they're doing that to you. And a lot of guys will do that, and you don't a lot of women don't realize that. The guys are slowly seeing a young lady or an older woman or a woman of any age, and seeing that she might have the capacity to put on some weight, and slowly feeding her till she gets bigger and bigger. And a lot of us do not notice that we're putting on weight, and the guy just keeps feeding us till we're bigger and bigger, and pretty soon we've gained like 5, 10, 15 pounds, and we're big and we can't fit our clothes, and we notice that we've gotten a lot bigger, right? I mean, and what happens is a lot of us do get in relationships and we do gain a lot of weight, and the guy's like, well, good, she's gaining the weight, she's not even noticing. And they're like, ooh, baby, you look great. Oh wow, look at, you're getting, bigger here or bigger down there. Ooh, you look great like that, and stuff like that. And he'll say little things like that and make us think we look better like this. And the thing is we're getting fat is what it is. Okay, we don't look better like this, but he'll make a big deal out of it and make it sound like we look better. We don't. Okay, but the thing is he's slowly feeding us till we look bigger and bigger. And the thing is a lot of guys are low key prefer obese women. Okay, and I'm not saying that a lot of bigger women aren't attractive, because a lot of men like bigger women. It's true, but the thing is, and a lot of bigger women are beautiful. I'm one of them. Okay, it's not healthy though. And the thing is I was a lot healthier when I was smaller. So, the more weight I lose, the healthier I'm going to be. So it doesn't matter if I'm pretty as a big woman or not. But I'm going to let you know, a lot of guys that I've come across have low-key tried to feed me. All right? And I'm going to tell you what a lot of them have tried to do, and I've caught them doing it. And I'm like, I'm not going out with you anymore. I see what you're trying to do. So, and they've tried to trick me into being in these feeder relationships, and I've seen them try to do it. Now, these guys are not maybe classified as real feeders, but some of these people are like borderline feeders. They're not the kind that you see in you would call them kink manuals or whatever, but they are I consider them feeders. And what they try to do is, this is why I make fun of guys who say, I can cook. You know how I'm always making jokes about that? Well, this is why. What they do is, they try to tell you that they can cook, but what they're really doing is they want you to come over. And they want to cook you all these meals. And what they do is they want to basically feed you, right? They want to pretend that that's their love language, and they want to feed you, and then they want to give you seconds, and they want to give you more, and they go, oh, what, you don't like it? And then they want to make you eat more and more and more, and they want to have you over all the time. Okay, so and then they want to not finish their portion, and they want to scrape it onto your plate and get you to eat it. That's something that they do. And they want to do a lot of hanging around the house. And they want to do a lot of laying around. They want to do a lot of lounging. They want to do a lot of lazy lounging, a lot of, lazy Sundays, and a lot of lazy Saturdays. And they want to do a lot of, have a really lazy relationship to where there's a lot of coziness and there's a lot of cuddling and just a lot of, low key, not a lot of, you're not having a really active relationship where you're just kind of sitting around a lot. And they do that so you don't get a lot of exercise. And there's a lot of cooking where they're doing a lot of cooking. They don't have you do it at all because you're up and you're moving around. They're like, no, you sit still, I'll do it. And they want to just, do that. So they're always cooking and they're always feeding you. And you're always sitting because they don't want you burning the calories. They want you to just sit and get big, 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 big. Now, if you start complaining about that you're gaining weight, they'll get mad at you. Okay? They'll get mad at you. Well, why are you worried about your weight? Are you trying to get someone else to like you? And why are you worried about what people think? And what you don't like my cooking and stuff like that, okay? So, here's something that you can do so you can avoid these types of people, okay? And here's something that the modern woman should be doing anyway. And a lot of people will go, wow, that sounds so harsh, and that sounds paranoid and all this other things. But here's something you should want to be doing anyway. Just if you want to live a nicer life, where you don't want to settle for less in life, when you're dating and a man is inviting you over to his house and everything like that, just say, I'm not really into that whole hospitality scene. And I mean, I know that sounds really funny, but you're going to want to do a thing where you're not really hosting him either. And you're like, wow, you're not having him over either, where you're not really cooking for him. No, you don't want to do that, because the thing is, what you want to do, see, these feeder guys, they don't tend to be high income guys. They don't tend to be high value men. They don't tend to be high income guys. So what you want to do is you want to attract men who have the kind of money where they're taking you to the opera, to a play, they're taking you to a game, they're taking you to something, maybe they have like courtside seats, maybe they're taking you to an event, they're taking you out somewhere where you're actually going to see something. They can afford to entertain you where you're actually going somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, maybe they can take you on a cruise. Yeah, I know there's a lot of food there. I mean, but they're taking you somewhere. I'm not saying that eating is bad, okay? But I mean, they're taking you somewhere where they can actually afford to give you a lifestyle, right? Men are supposed to improve your life. They're not supposed to make you sit around and get fat. Because sitting around and getting fat, that's poverty mind, right? That's poverty mind. And I'm sorry to say, but the reason they're having you sit around and get fat, besides the fact that they have a sick fetish, is they don't want other guys to look at you. And the only other guys who are looking at you are other busted MFers, okay? That's the only other guys that are looking at you. or other guys that are, I mean, these men are shortening your life by doing this to you. They're sick. All right, they're guys with problems. Okay, they're making you unhealthy when they're doing this to you. It's not cute. There's nothing nice about this. Okay, it's not okay. So, guys, and you don't want to go to a guy's house. Guys who call you to come to their house, you know when guys do that, they call hookers to come to their house. You're not a hooker. All right, and you don't want to go over there because he's trying to feed you. He's trying to feed you and get laid. That's not what you are. Okay, just say, you know, I'm not really into the whole hospitality. I'm not really a Netflix and chill chick. I'm not really into the whole No, I really don't like guys cooking for me. I mean, if you want to take me out to lunch or something, buy me some lunch, and stress buy me some lunch. Or you want to, you know, take me to a show, or you want to take me somewhere, say take me somewhere, buy me something. Stress things like that to where he's taking you and you're doing a thing, and he's buying you something and you're going somewhere. Use action words and where his money's being spent. That way he's getting out of the feeder mentality. Yeah, sure, there's probably some food involved, but he's not going to be force feeding you in public, right? So you're controlling your level of eating without him trying to be a feeder in public. You can take your little bites of this, your little bites of that. If you have a doggy bag to take home, you know, and you don't have to eat it when you get home, right? Or you can just give it to somebody, or you can just, you know, take little bites of it here and there, or whatever. I mean, or you don't have to take it home with you, you know, if you don't want to, right? That way he can't try to coerce you into eating. And by that I mean overeating, right? And feeder guys, they will look at a woman who is a healthy size and say, you really should eat more. Or, you'd look better if you gained some weight. Has anyone ever told you you're kind of skinny? And they'll look at a woman who's a normal healthy size, or a woman who's as big as me, and say things like that. Really ridiculous stuff. And you're just like, where did that come from? Or just a woman who's a normal healthy size and tell her she's so thin she looks sick. Or, you don't look well, are you eating okay? And that sort of thing. And just things that are to make her feel bad. Or, you don't have a very good appetite. Or, are you okay? And just, I mean, because I've had guys try to gaslight me and say things like that to me before, because I was a healthy weight, and try to do feeder stuff to me because they wanted me to be big as a house. Yeah. And this is when I was at a healthy weight. Yeah. So I'm just letting you guys know the man I'm with now is not a feeder, so I don't want you to come for him. If you're on his channel, don't be like, bro, are you a feeder? Because she's big now. No, I'm big because I have a health condition. So he's not a feeder. It's not his fault. So it's not even like that. So just because I'm talking about my weight and all that kind of stuff, it's not on him. Not at all. And in fact, I've been losing weight since I've been with him, and he's been very supportive. So ladies, do not be with a man who tries to control your weight. Don't be with a man who tells you you're too fat, too thin, tries to say you need to eat this, you don't need to eat that. So don't be with a man who's trying to tell you to lose weight either. Be with a man who's just supportive of you no matter what you're doing. But I mean, don't be with a man who like watches you eat a whole bucket of chicken and is cool with it either. I mean, you know, don't be with that dude either. But I mean, don't be with a guy who lets you be unhealthy. I mean, don't be with a feeder. Just, you know, don't have a guy come over, because then he'll try to cook at your house. You're wanting the guy to get you out of the house. That's the whole point of being with someone, being with a man, because he's getting you out of the house. And he's spending money on you, because that's, and you're like, oh, you're a gold digger. Oh no. Okay, I'm a gold digger. So he's spending money on you. That means he's showing you value. Okay, he's improving your life. He's showing you that he can upgrade your life. That's what men do when they spend money on you. Okay, that doesn't mean that you're a total bad gold digger. And so what if you are? He's showing you that he's in a higher income bracket that you are, and that's what you want. You want a man in a higher income bracket. You don't get with a man because you guys are in the same income bracket. You get with a man who's better than you are, who has more money than you do, who can improve your life. You don't get with a man who wants to fatten you up and shorten your lifespan. That's sick. I mean, you want to have these man's children, right? So you want him to pick a healthy wife. You don't want him to get you so he can make you morbidly obese and you can have all these unhealthy kids with him that he can't afford, right? I mean, I'm speaking logic here. Come on. So you don't want this guy who's trying to have this feeder agenda with you. So you don't want him coming over, and you don't want to go to his house. I mean, it just really totally makes sense. You want him taking you out, and you want to get to know him for a long time before you even have him come over. What if you don't like him and he knows where you live? Because when guys know where you live, what do? They come over without texting first. They come over without calling first. They do that. They like to drop by. Oh, I'm just dropping by, and then they bring a bunch of food with them. Oh, I'm just dropping by. What if someone else is there? You don't want your life full of guys who know where you live. I mean, they're all jealous of each other. You don't want guys coming by with food. You don't want them bringing you lunch. You don't want stuff like that. Because there's too many guys that are trying to sabotage you. You want guys that are taking you away from things. Away from work. Away from your house. Away from, well, let me meet you somewhere if you want to take me out and buy me X, Y, and Z. Oh, you want to do something for me? Why don't you meet me at the mall? There's something I really like there. Try to get the focus away from food. And it's really just, guys have always personally just tried to gaslight me. When it comes to my figure and stuff like that. Like one time I had just gotten done losing a lot of weight and I looked amazing. And this guy came up and he was really enamored with me, but you could tell he was a chubby chaser. And he came up and said something about me losing a lot of weight, and he asked me why I lost a lot of weight. And the general consensus was I looked really great. And I said, well, because I was fat before. So I lost a lot of weight. Now I'm healthy. And he just got kind of bent out of shape about that. And he goes, well, I don't like you saying you were fat. And I go, but I'm one of those people that lives in reality, and I'm telling the truth. I was fat, so I lost weight, and now I'm healthy. And he goes, well, that just sounds like you didn't have any self-esteem. And I go, I have self-esteem. That's why I lost the weight, because I love myself. And I go, if you're 30 or 40 pounds overweight, that makes you fat. So I lost the weight, and now I'm not fat anymore. Now I'm healthy. And I go, you just fetishize fat women. That's why you're saying that to me. And he just kind of was like, oh no, she caught me. And I found out later, I'm like, that guy fetishizes fat women, huh? And they're like, yeah. I think I was like 30 years old at the time too, and I was just kind of like, I had him figured out, and I knew, and it's just kind of like they'll try to tell you, if you're fat and you call yourself fat, you have low self-esteem. No, you just know you're fat. I never said I was ugly. I just said I was fat. I'm sorry. I'm fat now and I'm not ugly. I mean, come on. Give me a break. I just knew I needed to lose the weight. I mean, come on. So it's like, and and it was just kind of like, when something's wrong, it was just kind of like, well, I had a drug problem before and I quit. So I was a drug addict, right? I wasn't ugly when I was a drug addict either. Just saying. But I needed to quit, right? Right. Okay. So it's just one of those things. It's not a vanity thing, guys. I mean, yeah, I probably look better when I lose the weight, probably, right? But it's just a thing. I mean, you need to do things that are healthy choices, and once you figure out how to do it, you do it. So once I quit drugs, nobody had a problem with that, did they? Nobody sober shames me, right? Hello. I guess heroin chic is out, right? So, yeah. So, people will just have all these like little fat fetish guys will have all these like little things they'll say and do. So, don't go be a little paranoid if you need to. Just say I don't do that whole hospitality thing, and just say no to stuff like that, because those guys tend to be in the low socioeconomic bracket. Just say no to going to their house. They can't do anything for you but fatten you up and shorten your life. Honestly, they are to be avoided at all costs. Trust me, because I run into them all the time. Seriously. No. And if you're already pretty, they are going to just try to snatch you right up. Because they're like, ooh. Yeah. It's bad. They're willing to take you and shorten your life and make you sick and possibly make you go on disability and make you obese because they have some sick fetish for it, and keep you from holding down a job and make you sit around the house and just get bigger and bigger and bigger. Gross. That's weird. Think about how weird that is, that turns somebody on. I mean, I can get liking curves. I get it, people still find me attractive at 40 plus pounds overweight, but we're talking people are hundreds and hundreds of pounds overweight, and they're feeding them to get fatter and fatter and fatter, and they're doing this on purpose, and they're trying to mess with somebody's mind to trick them into getting fatter. They were trying to trick me into getting fatter because they knew I didn't want to. I was so not on board with it. And they were actually trying to mess with my mind to do that. I've left relationships because bozos were trying to fatten me up on purpose. I'm like, he's trying to fatten me up. And I'd leave the relationship because the dude was trying to fatten me up. Real talk. So yeah, you don't resist hospitality. The minute the guy goes, I can cook. Now you know I'm making fun of that all the time, huh? The minute he says that, just say to him, I can build a house and fix a car. And have him go, huh? Mock him. Just go, I'm not into guys who cook. Just make a face when he says that, because you know what he's getting at. He's a feeder. That's exactly what he is. Don't say I didn't warn you. That's what he's trying to do. I'm sorry to tell you that right now. You know, my 600-pound life is in your future. These guys are terrible. They are. They're bad. They're gonna kill you. It's abuse, guys. It is. And they're dusty. They're dusty. They really, just most of the time, they don't even have jobs themselves. Their only job is making you obese and keeping you from real men. So resist hospitality. Okay, otherworldlies, I love you all, and you have a wonderful day. Enjoy this full moon. All right, keep your third eye open. Bye-bye.